like I said, man, that's currently where they are right now, man, from a training camp standpoint. Now, some of the other nuance that's happening within it. We obviously talked about some of the injuries, right? Calvin Austin still been kind of limited, man, missing action with the abdominal. They're calling it abdominal. We don't know all the details of it, but he's missing some time, right? And obviously Corey Chice, the other guy, man, that we've been kind of talking about as well, man, been kind of out with the hamstring, man. So we'll see what that looks like if either one of those dudes are able to make it back out there for this weekend. But let's keep going though, man. Like I said, last time we talked, Cam Heyward hadn't spoke yet, but since then he has spoken. And yeah, getting a little bit more interesting from my eyes, man. Definitely getting a little bit more interesting. First thing is this. When we're talking about the Cam situation, we obviously know, yes, just a year ago, he did sign a new contract that was one of those deals where they were, we're going to scratch your back, so to speak, right? We don't want to release you. He was coming off of the injury. So they lowered the money, they basically gave him a contract extension, but what it did was lower the money. So that way it justified him being here. All right. Obviously goes out exceeds expectations, first team all pro. And now here we are a year later, wants to get back on, right? Wants to get that new deal. And he brings us some valuable points, but at the same time, the organization has valuable points, man. With it being that, they did just give him some money, man. And he is 36. I get all these things, right? But at the same time, it's like, scam. But the thing to me that kind of caught my eye in this whole thing, right, was when my man started talking about he's willing to sit out a game. He's willing to sit out a game. I said, now, Cam, wait a minute now, baby. Wait a minute. We've never said those words before. Not Cam. Cam has never even uttered that like he even thought about that before, right? In fact, in the past, there's been times where he has specifically said that, man, I want to say it was last year? Yeah, it was last year during the holdout. He was like, I'm not about to miss any games. So it was kind of like, Cam, man, you kind of lose your leverage by letting them know that. Different this go around, though. I will say that, man, very different because of that specific wording. And I think that both him and TJ took different approaches this go around, right? We said, man, last time when TJ was upset about the contract, he did the hold in. This time he did the hold out, right? Didn't show up for any of the OTA stuff, any of the minicamp stuff, right? But deal got done. Great. This go around, right? We talked about Cam. Cam was doing the hold in last time, but Cam was very specific about not missing games. This go around, just let you know, 3 weeks before the season even gets here, I will miss some games. I've already considered that. To me, that does make it a little bit more serious for all parties. If you're Cam Heyward, man, and you feel like this is your last opportunity to hit the bank, right? Because if you sit out for the whole season, you're not going to break the bank at 37 after a year being removed from the game. That's not going to happen. But if you feel like, man, this is your best chance to get paid again, I get it, man. Who am I or who are any of us to tell a person to not try to maximize their earning potential in whatever short window they personally have, right? So from that standpoint, I get it. Not saying that if I'm the Roonies, I'm going to pay it, but I get it. Definitely do. And when you compare him just from a production standpoint, right? Take off all the, what we call the minutia, right? Which is the feelings of it. Man, he's 36. That's a feeling thing, right? Hey, man, he just signed his deal last year. That's a feeling thing, right? But let's talk about the factual part, which is his numbers in comparison to the other guys' numbers that are ahead of him. He does a valid, very valid case, man. And even if we got down to the point and said, hey, which of those guys you taking over Cam? Y'all be the first ones in here, just like me said, not a lick of them, right? Maybe Chris Jones, right? You get 1 to 2 guys that you might take over him. But other than that, you're like, bro, get out of here, man. I ain't wasting my time with none of them dudes. So that's the other part where it's like, kind of we talked about with TJ Watt, right? Man, you don't pay TJ this type of money. Okay, but we the same ones saying he's better than Cam, or we were saying the same ones that were saying that TJ is better than Max Crosby and Myles Garrett. So how do we tell him or expect him to take drastically less just because of that, even though we're all going to be the same one saying he's better than these dudes? Hell, we swear by Cam, right? Hey, Cam, top D tackle in the league. Cam, one of the top D tackles in the league. Cam, top D tackle in the league. But then when it's time to actually, pay that money to reciprocate that, now we over here like, hold on, now he's 36. Hold on now, man. He was injured a couple years ago. Hold on. It's like, well, which one is it? And I think that that's, why Cam is taking the stance that he is taking it. And that's why I said, I can understand it. And it is a tough sell, man, anytime he gets public, because you're asking people that have never, or a lot of people that aren't in those type of financial situations, to try to relate to it, and it's just very hard to relate. I'm a unique situation where I do get the opportunity to say I can relate to that, and that's why you hear the compassion at times when I'm speaking on it. But at the same time, from an ownership standpoint, I for sure understand how the organization is viewing this. It's like, hey, bro, I scratched it back a year ago, baby. What's up, man? Like, we doing this? Come on now, help me help you. I'm even looking out in other ways, if you catch what I'm saying. So that's the part where it's like, man, can we work together here? And that's why I think you can find some common ground. But I think that until we know the specific ask, I think that we're all going to kind of be, giving our opinions on it, but missing information. Because what I'm saying is this: we can holler about who should or shouldn't get paid, right? But if it came out that he's hollering about $2 more million in this whole thing, we're going to all look at the organization very differently. Now, if he's asking for another $10 million, we looking at Cam very differently. You catch what I'm saying? So that's the part of the equation that we do have that is missing, so to speak, because that clarifies a lot. With TJ, we knew, okay, when Myles Garrett signed for 41, we say, yo, that means he got to sign for 41 and a half, 42. So that's a $12 million increase. We get you, right? This isn't that, though. We're like, Cam, you get 14. To get you top 10 is 20. So you're looking at about a $6 million range we talking about. So do you want all 6 more? Or are you looking for 3 more? Are you looking for 1 more? Like, what? That's the part. And to me, I think that for Cam, he is in his right to be able to have these conversations. I think he's earned the right to be there. I think his production backs it and warrants it as well. And I think that that's also why the organization is handling it the way that they are handling it. And what I mean is at least entertaining it, right? They haven't said, man, get up out of here, we're going to ship you, okay? Because they know what Cam brings to the table, and they also would agree. Both parties, both Cam and the Steelers, are better together than they are without each other. Take the pride, take the ego out of it. In 2025, the Pittsburgh Steelers are not better without Cam Heyward on the field. That's just the reality of it, regardless of what we might want to say to ourselves to make it feel better in terms of negotiations. And for Cam, if you don't play for the Steelers in 2025, whether you sit out, whether you try to force the trade, I don't think that's going to be better for him. I think that he's going to lose in the long run with that also, man. I think both of those teams, I think both Steelers and Cam, man, better together, man. And that's the thing that I think that they both understand that, and they got to find that common ground. And hopefully, as we're getting closer and closer to the season, the deal gets done, right? Because that's one of the things that I've personally noticed with the Steelers. It's usually right at the last minute where it all gets finished up, right? I mean, we've seen deals get done literally the night before kickoff. I'll never forget Cortez Allen. We're like, yo, where's Cortez at? He's getting the deal done. Oh, thank God, because the game is tomorrow. Hey, where's Stephon Tuitt at? He's getting the deal done. Thank God, game's tomorrow. All right, I've seen it twice. All right, so this could also be, a similar thing, man. But I just think that with Cam, man, this is interesting though. Like I said, man, him specifically threatening to sit out games. That is not something he's ever communicated before. And that's the big reason why, to me, I think this is just a little bit different, because he's not quietly talking about this. He's not hiding behind his agent, right? He's not leaking information. You watch him stand up in front of that media scrum like a big dog. And that's the thing that I respect about him even more. Don't do this and then hide. Don't do this and then not talk to the media. Now the media is asking questions to everybody else. Like, nah, bro, stand up in front of them and let them know what you want, man. And I do like the fact that he's painting the picture and he's very clear about everything that transpired in terms of the conversation, the communication between him and the organization, and where he wants to be, but more importantly, what he thinks his worth is. So we will see how that thing continues to play out, man. But shout out to Cam, shout out to the Steelers, man. This is going to be interesting, though, man, in terms of how it all plays out, man. But I do hope that they can get this thing resolved in a timely manner, because I need Cam out there. The Steelers need Cam out there, and Cam need the Steelers. All right. Better together. All right. Keep the family close, man. You know the drill. All right. But y'all know the drill also, man. Hit that like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel.